The mission of the Enforcement and Emergency Response Division, EERD, is to promote a cleaner and safer environment for all Californians through fair, consistent, and timely enforcement and effective emergency response. The vision of EERD is to ensure California's regulated community is in compliance with all hazardous waste and hazardous substances laws. Enforcement's organizational structure starts with the division chief, along with 7 field offices located throughout California, with one in Sacramento, Chatsworth, Cypress, San Diego, Berkeley, Clovis, and El Centro. The core activities of EERD are to regularly inspect facilities authorized under full and standardized permits for compliance with hazardous waste laws, regulations, and permit requirements. Inspect hazardous waste generators, transporters, used oil recycling facilities and handlers, and electronic waste recyclers and handlers. To target compliance initiatives for specific geographic regions and industries, and to respond to hazardous waste emergencies. Collaborate with DTSC's Office of Permitting and Geological Services branch to evaluate and inspect groundwater monitoring systems at both operating and closed land disposal facilities. To operate the statutorily mandated Waste Alert Complaint Hotline and collaborate with Cal EPA. To investigate illegal hazardous waste activities and complaints, and to coordinate hazardous waste inspection and enforcement activities with U.S. EPA, the Certified Unified Program Agencies, or CUPAs, and other agencies. Inspections and enforcement are at the foundation of our program. Enforcement staff inspect treatment, storage, and disposal facilities, transporters of hazardous waste, and generators of hazardous waste. We perform and assist with complaint investigations and collect consumer products from California retailers for testing and analysis to ensure consumer safety. EERD also conducts enforcement initiatives to address serious environmental violations committed in California's most vulnerable communities. Environmental complaints are received primarily through 2 systems, the Waste Alert Complaint Hotline and the Cal EPA online complaint system. All complaint information received by DTSC will be entered into an online complaint intake form. Complaints are evaluated and graded as an emergency, urgent, or a general complaint. The unified program was created to ensure consistency throughout the state in regards to administrative requirements, permits, inspections, and enforcement. Cal EPA is directly responsible for coordinating the administration of the unified program. The program is made up of the following 5 state agencies: the California Environmental Protection Agency, the California Office of Emergency Services, CAL FIRE, the State Water Resources Control Board, and DTSC. These agencies are responsible for setting program element standards, working with Cal EPA to ensure program consistency, and providing technical assistance to CUPAs. DTSC provides CUPAs with evaluation, oversight, and technical training and assistance for the Hazardous Waste Generator program. What is a CUPA? A CUPA is a Certified Unified Program Agency that works predominantly at the county level to carry out several regulatory programs and ensure environmental safety. DTSC is the CUPA for Imperial and Trinity counties. CUPAs regulate the following 6 program elements: above-ground storage tanks and spill prevention control, business plans, California Accidental Release Prevention Plan, hazardous waste, Uniform Fire Code hazmat, and underground storage tanks. Facilities are inspected at least every 3 years, with the exception of underground storage tanks, which are inspected annually. Enforcement's Emergency Response, or ER unit, takes immediate corrective action to remedy or prevent an emergency resulting from the release or threatened release of hazardous substances. Our duty officers are available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, including weekends and holidays, to respond to a wide variety of hazardous waste incidents. These incidents include those resulting from off-highway spills, train derailments, illegal drug labs, floods, fires, earthquakes, and other disasters. Emergency response also coordinates disaster planning and government planning services. The Border 2020 U.S.-Mexico program was created to protect the environment and public health in the U.S.-Mexico border region. Its core activities are to enforce import and export requirements, inspect hazardous waste shipments and facilities, perform hazardous waste characterization, promote waste reduction and pollution prevention, provide training and compliance assistance to the regulated community. Border 2020's goal is to emphasize regional, bottom-up approaches for decision-making, priority setting, and project implementation to address the environmental and public health problems in the border region. It accomplishes this goal by encouraging meaningful participation from community members and local stakeholders. Environmental justice initiatives were launched to address three critical concerns: to target the worst hazardous waste offenders, to establish fair, consistent, and uniform enforcement across all communities, and to promote timely and meaningful public involvement. In 2004, Cal EPA adopted California's first EJ initiative. Its strategy was to promote public participation, integrate EJ into its policies and actions, improve research and data collection, and encourage coordination and accountability. Enforcement's goal is to prioritize EERD's work in communities that are disproportionately burdened or impacted. These areas are known as environmental justice communities. EERD uses 4 environmental justice initiatives to more effectively address enforcement in EJ communities. The Supplemental Environmental Projects, or SEP policy, encourages projects that benefit California communities most impacted by environmental harm, and it demonstrates DTSC's commitment to environmental justice. A SEP is an environmentally beneficial project that a violator may complete to offset a portion of their administrative or civil penalty. The policy provides the option to allocate up to 50% of fines and penalties to a SEP, and is one of the first SEP policies in the nation to identify Native American tribes as eligible recipients of SEPs. Identifying violations affecting neighborhoods, the IVEN program provides extensive support to community-based enforcement by connecting community members with people who can solve local environmental problems. Between 2015 and 2016, DTSC expanded the IVEN network to the Bayview Hunters Point neighborhood in the San Francisco Bay Area, and is partnering with a community-based organization in Sacramento to develop an IVEN network in the capital region. The Enhanced Enforcement in Vulnerable Communities takes a closer, systematic look at metal recyclers and hazardous waste transporters in California's most vulnerable communities. Enforcement and Office of Criminal Investigations work together to investigate the most serious hazardous waste violations and conduct criminal investigations when warranted. The Cal EPA Online Complaint System is an online, agency-wide complaint tracking system used to receive, track, and respond to environmental complaints. It utilizes CalEnviroscreen and census tract information to determine if complaint locations are in an impacted and vulnerable area. It helps prioritize enforcement response in vulnerable communities. Over 50% of all DTSC inspections, complaint investigations, and enforcement actions took place in areas identified by CalEnviroscreen as the most burdened and vulnerable to multiple pollution sources and stressors. Enforcement routinely coordinates with many other programs within DTSC, such as the Office of Permitting. Our enforcement staff coordinate with permit project managers regarding inspections of permitted facilities. The Office of Legal Counsel. DTSC attorneys assist us with enforcement cases. The Environmental Chemistry Lab. As part of inspections and/or complaints, we send samples collected to the Environmental Chemistry Lab for analysis. Safer Consumer Products. Select enforcement staff assist the Safer Consumer Products branch with collecting additional items for analysis and further investigation. Geological Services. We receive assistance from Geological Services in cases where groundwater issues are present. The Office of Communication. The Office of Communication provides assistance to enforcement on community outreach, public notices, fact sheets, and public meetings. The Office of Criminal Investigation, or OCI. Enforcement and OCI often coordinate staff primarily for criminal cases. Each of these 7 programs offer unique support to enforcement, allowing us to effectively perform our core activities. Enforcement thrives to continue making program improvements. We promote consistent, effective, and timely inspections, enforcement, and emergency response by updating, developing, and implementing regulations, policies, and guidance, accurate workload standards and performance measures, the EERD Inspector Training Program, community engagement and opportunities for education, ongoing program performance evaluation and improvement. Enforcement is committed to protecting public health and the environment and encourages public participation to give those who are the most affected by our decisions the opportunity to voice their concerns and ask questions. For more information about EERD, please visit the DTSC public website or EERD's SharePoint site.